you. I don't know why that kills me every time. Every time I get an internal little like, awesome. Welcome everybody, and to the Chilluminati podcast, episode 44. As always, I am your host, Mike Martin, joined by my two co-hosts, Jesse Cox, already looking disappointed in today's episode, and he barely even knows what is about to befall him.
I the general gist.
How you doing? Jesse?
Well, I mean, I can't tell if I have corona or don't. I don't.
Okay,
I
great.
know nothing. No one's told me anything.
Good.
I don't think I have a cold. Then I woke up today with like a runny nose, then went away immediately. I'm like, is that a symptom?
Oh, great.
And then I like coughed once today. I'm like, is that a symptom?
You might have the mildest of mild forms or whatever, who knows?
I'm worried about that. They literally
Right.
like sometimes people don't show any signs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what does that mean? So
Yeah.
I'm terrified that I will infect every person on planet Earth. So I've been at home.
Good stuff.
The only interaction I had today was with a nice woman who left a sandwich and chips at my door, knocked, and then waved to me. That's
that's
the
adorable.
only interaction I've had today.
God bless.
Well,
I'm-
God, exactly. God bless. That's adorable.
I'm trying to be very
Speaking of,
I
go ahead.
no, I just I'm trying to be good.
No,
I'm trying
that's
to
good.
Be, I don't want to interact with people. I bought things at the grocery store.
That's what
That
I
was
did too. Yeah, I
terrifying.
bought a little extra, not much. I didn't really want to. I don't do the like hoarding thing or any of that, but I did buy a little extra food to last me like an extra week or so.
I bought
I
some
got-
bacon at 7-Eleven.
Wait, we haven't gotten to you yet. All right, shut up, Alex. Shh,
Okay.
shh.
The problem is I got like sucker. I think I watched a bunch of Netflix shows, and the overall message of all of them, because they're all food related shows, the overall message of all of them was like, we just eat too much meat, and we should celebrate meat when we eat it. I'm like, oh no. So now I went to the grocery store and was just like, you know what? I'm gonna get like veggie stuff. I'm gonna make vegetables and things. I'm gonna try, and then only 2 days a week, I'm gonna just get really good meat. I'm gonna try and live that life.
Yeah. No.
I made it to Friday since Monday and was like, I need a sandwich or like bread with some. Oh yeah. So I ordered a sub. I was like, get me a sub.
Yeah, I just went into it. Well, I'm glad you quarantined because our other host, Alex, might just have corona.
I
How's it going?
I might. I don't know. My chest is tight. I can't sleep.
No.
It's horrifying. But I'm fine.
But you're
like I'm
dedicated.
here.
You're dedicated.
Yeah, I'm having a little, but I don't know, because here's the thing. I always get seasonal allergies at this time, and it's the exact symptoms of this fucking troll ass virus. Sucks.
That's not good. I hope you don't have it.
Everything could be happening totally normally right now, and I still have the same symptoms. So I don't know.
Huh.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Does milk mess you up?
Yeah.
Yes, but I've discovered I've become lactose intolerant over
so-
the years.
Here's my problem. I have not, for I'm gonna say 5 years, had like cereal for breakfast. I simply haven't. I have either made a little breakfast sandwich or had a bagel or made toast and moved on with my day very, very quickly. Cereal's kind of like you pour it and then you're sitting there just eating this damn thing for like 20 minutes. And so because I'm home, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get cereal and milk. And now I don't know if it's messing with me, because I'll eat it and then I'll be like, what is going on? Something feels weird. Am I sick? I don't know what. I've changed so much since I've been forced to be home that I can't tell
I don't know,
what
man.
is wrong with me and what's just like I'm stuck at home.
Old age has made
I don't
me
know.
lactose intolerant. Like ever since I ticked over 30 those years ago, like my stomach just can't do what it used to do. Things just make me upset in the morning in particular. Like it's very sensitive. It's just rough.
I can't even eat
phlegmy.
Cheez-Its.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's awful, dude. It's
I can't
awful.
even eat like the serving of Cheez-Its, which is like 25 Cheez-Its. I'm just like,
That's it.
fucked. But here's the thing: all the takeout food, it's all bad for you. It's like
is.
too much food, and it makes me sleepy. And everything that happens to me now, I'm like, I have coronavirus. It sucks.
It's not good. Well,
it sucks.
You both are in California. California is in a full lockdown now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does that mean is there still people flying in or out?
Essential to the world.
Is there any flying still?
No.
No, every flight
wild.
that I had, even though I canceled them, I still got emails that were like, the flight is canceled.
Yeah.
Literally, the airlines, I think 70% of all flights have been canceled.
Yeah,
Total.
you can't do anything in California. The only thing you can do, I think, is you can go to the store. You can still go for a walk, but you can't like be near anyone when you're outside, and you can't
Restaurants
gather.
are closed. Gyms are closed.
Pretty much, you can get
any
groceries
gathering
and
places
weed, and that's
closed.
it. Yeah,
Excellent. That's all you
Literally,
need.
that is absolutely true. Today, I'm not saying it was my dad. Someone, no names, went and got 30 days worth of weed.
I applaud this man.
$4,000 worth.
$4,000 worth.
I might have gotten a photo, maybe from my mother or someone else, who knows.
Yeah,
And it
an anonymous
literally was
informant.
like, I was going to message you, Alex, and be like, this is a pothead.
That's
Like,
awesome. That's awesome.
It was insane. I was like, whoa. So
I'm
Good
too scared
for-
to smoke
Good
it.
for
I'm
nameless
too scared.
person.
it's so crazy to me.
It is. It's
that
wild.
That's what's open. Grocery stores, weed stores, banks, and I think one other thing is open,
Pharmacies.
and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Everything else is
I feel
closed.
like I feel like that guy who voices Piglet in that Twilight Zone episode where he's like the last man on Earth, and he has all the books,
all the time in the world.
and then his glasses break because
Oh,
like
no.
in a world where I'm locked inside my house and everybody's like video games and anime, I am like, I want to smoke weed so bad, and this disease is like, you die if you can't breathe. So
Yeah.
get hype, and I'm like, great, this is great. I'm just gonna like come down off of my like all the time weed.
The funniest part, though, is being in like sort of nerd circles. A lot of the problems associated with COVID and things that can happen to you are also like oh yeah, if you have asthma or
Oh, yeah.
diabetes or like all these things, and like if you have weakened immune systems, if you're inside all the time, you definitely have a weakened immune system already.
Yeah.
They're like, I can't wait to be inside all day. It's like, oh no, we're all doomed. We're all you make a joke out of this, but this is bad news.
It's no
gang.
wonder. It's no wonder everybody thinks it's like a conspiracy. It's so like upsetting in these like weird little ways. But I'm alive. You're alive. We're alive. I'm not feeling like, I'm not like laid out. I'm okay. Like, we're doing fine. Chilluminati is here. We're going. We're cracking along.
If this is your last episode, then I'm so glad it is this episode that you're going out on.
But hopefully it's not, because we're only $2,000 away from weekly episodes at
Mathis wrote your ass
patreon.com/Chilluminati.
off real quick. He was like, yo, bye.
Dude, that was an incredible segue. I can't.
You gotta
that
believe
is-
it. I went from my death to give me money, and that's
it was insane.
that's us. Please, in these trying times, I know that not everybody can afford it. But if you are one of those people who sings Imagine on Twitter to make us all feel better, please consider going online, going to patreon.com/Chilluminatipod and contributing just a little bit of money to get us up to that mark where
Will
we can go.
Ferrell.
Once we hit 5K, we will do weekly episodes for you.
Daddy Will, send us some money.
Yep. Like we can. That basically that gives me the ability to break away enough time and just dedicate research every week.
Gal Gadot,
Let's do it.
send
Yeah.
us your money.
Yeah.
Arnold, sell off one of those donkeys and put it towards the Chilluminati podcast, because we want to make more crazy stuff. You guys,
Speaking of,
today, okay, if you donate, if you become a patron at the $15 level or above, you get the mini episode right now. Like right after this, you're going to be able to do it. We're talking about even maybe just uploading it ad-free as one long episode, even maybe to the Patreon.
yeah.
But looking into, I'm not going to tell you what it's about, but today's mini episode is like fucking crazy. Like the thing that I found is like
Oh my
an
God.
insane story.
Great.
So if you want to hear that, immediately after this episode, head to patreon.com/ChilluminatiPod. And obviously, just before we move on to the real show, I just want to say we're also going to put those episodes out eventually in big chunks for you normal non-Patreon listeners, so don't feel like you're missing out on stuff. It's just a limited exclusivity
We're not trying to punish people. 'cause
Exactly.
they're-
No.
they don't have money.
Exactly.
No,
Especially
exactly.
right now. Jesus.
Yeah, no way.
It's also
no.
stupid to make
No.
something for like 200 people.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
It's dumb. Yeah, so don't worry, we got you. But if you want to support and you have the means to in these trying times, please.
Keep up to
There's
date.
a box
with,
of comic
each
books on my
minisode.
bed.
It
My
keeps-
house is so small. Help me.
There really is.
Well, I don't really. we ready?
I'm here. I'm ready.
No
this
one's
is it.
ready
This
for
is
this.
it.
What
Let's
you're
do it.
about to
I'm
say
not
is
ready for this.
nonsense.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, those who do not identify as either, and all inclusive other things that I may have missed, we're finishing the trilogy today. Today, the space trilogy that we started a long, long time ago comes to a conclusion. First, there was Hollow Moon.
The Emperor laughs at the end. Yeah.
No one's ever really gone. Then there was Hollow Earth. The only one left is Hollow Sun. And so
What?
we venture into the world
I told you this was stupid. I
of
told
the
you this was
Hollow
stupid.
Sun today. And if you thought Hollow Moon or Hollow Earth was even a little stupid, I am not able to prepare you for what is about to hit your ears today. This is
Let me just say
this
something.
is hurt to research. Incredibly hard.
As someone who does not believe in Hollow Earth or Hollow Moon, at least Hollow Moon
How
had
dare
like
you.
the bell thing,
Right.
and it had some mystery behind
So
it.
here's
Hollow Earth is fun to believe in because there's sort of a sci-fi element and land of the lost, like that kind of thing. This is genuinely an impossibility. It cannot be.
I mean, look, if you think about it, compared to the Earth,
I
compared to
am
the Earth
thinking
or the
about
Moon, compared to the Earth or the Moon, the Sun, as we learned in science class,
exactly.
astronomy or whatever,
Stop air quoting those. Stop it.
at the
Yeah, how
Griffith
dare you.
Observatory of Truth, they say that the sun is gas, and that's like a lot closer to hollow.
I mean,
If
yeah.
you're doing this on a technicality, sure, it's a hollow ball of billions and billions and billions degrees,
Yeah. Sure. So,
and anything in it would burn up instantly.
well, maybe, maybe not. Depending on the level of technological advancement your species may have.
Okay, I'm
As we'll
listening.
talk.
Go on.
But this one is a painful one because they're really the people. So you may ask, where's it spurred from? As Jesse said, the bell from the moon, or just the enjoyment of like the cave systems of Earth and whatnot. And people not understanding that in earlier times. The thing that spurred this back on, or at least this on for me, was the mini-sode from last week. A little bit about the Ezekiel's wheel, the UFO that peeked out and
That
then
is so
disappeared
crazy to me
again.
Still,
And so looking into that, there were a couple of like posts, whether you want to call them articles or not is entirely up to interpretation, but it talks about how this proves that if the sun isn't necessarily hollow, it is being used by the aliens in some way to harness its power for their own devious and or beneficial means. Jesse's
Doesn't that have a name though? Doesn't that have like an actual name? Where they put something around. God,
you talk about Dyson spheres?
Yeah, like a Dyson sphere.
Yeah.
But that is, you're harnessing the energy of the sun, not your
And
deep
a
inside the sun.
And a Dyson sphere is usually external, correct? But there is the posited theory that there is a reverse Dyson sphere on the inside of the sun that's harnessing most of the energy to a central point, but since it's on the inside, it stays like a X number of miles or whatever within the sun. And they use that as either a power focus or a transportational system, a warp type system where they bend space-time to move quickly between planets that have other suns. But that we're not there yet. Don't look at me like that, Jesse. Don't look at me, Alex. Don't stop.
That's not how suns. There's a fuel source. It is burning off the fuel source.
Sure.
It's the reason
So you say.
why.
So you say.
So I say. Oh my god. Oh my god. These two are crazy people. You're crazy. Alex is giving me air quotes. I can't.
Alex is frozen in air quote mode for me. Okay, he's back.
I can't handle this. I hate both of you so much. Okay.
Jesse, aren't you so glad you agreed to this podcast 2 years ago?
2 years, boy.
Don't you feel more enlightened now?
I feel something.
Too
All right.
long
Gas.
years.
I feel gassy.
So, since the subject of Hollow Sun is so difficult and narrow and niche, there's a couple of other theories of aliens using our sun that are going to be sprinkled in here to fill out this Hollow Sun episode, because surprisingly or unsurprisingly, there's no theories of Nazis that seem to live in the Hollow Sun. There's no magical utopia within the Hollow Sun. Maybe.
That's
and
because
no,
it presupposes a structure
exactly.
that is the size...
It's very, very difficult.
It's a size that's impossible to even comprehend with your brain how big it is.
What if they have the technology, right, to resist the heat that the sun does produce, and they're able to get within the center of the sun, and then they're able to build within there? It would be the ultimate cover, would it not? It's so hot. It's its own defense system.
But it's more
And
like
you
it's
have
under the
infinite energy.
surface. Just under the surface of the sun, though. We're not talking about like something that can fit like many Jupiters
even that,
inside.
right? Sure, positive that. This is just imagine just being able to do even that. The insane things that you could accomplish. Jesse,
They do that
your
in the
face has
X-Men.
changed wildly.
Yeah. Well, speaking of hot, get ready for this.
Oh shoot.
I, for some reason, thought the right thing to Google was alien sun. And it turns out that a actress who is also Miss Singapore Universe, who represented Singapore at Miss Universe in 1994, her name is Pauline Sun, but she also goes by Alien Sun. So there you go.
How
And
interesting.
that's what I found out. I believe that over any other alien
clues
sun.
have always been there, don't you see?
the aliens have been injecting themselves on both the metaphorical and literal levels into our society. They're everywhere. So
She was in Ichi the Killer. All right, sorry.
what we're going to do is we're going to cover what I would consider the most believable theory in all of this insanity and its nonsense. And I will stand forward and say this is all nonsense.
Okay.
This is called the reverse Dyson sphere or the light bridge theory as to what they're using the sun for. Now, we talked a little bit about the reverse Dyson sphere already. The idea of them building a Dyson sphere beyond the surface of the sun and harnessing its power in some way. The light bridge theory posits that there's a mirror or a focus situated somewhere between Earth and Mars that is able to take the light of the sun that is being emitted and then focus it like a huge effing laser and beam it across millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of miles of space through light years of space. Now you might be asking, why? Why would you do that? Because
Why would you do that?
there you go. Thank you. Thank you very much. Because they need the sun's energy to power the generational interstellar ships that they have launched from their home planets to travel across space. And each one of these interstellar generational ships are like mini planets in and of themselves. And they need the power of the sun because they don't have the ability to store enough energy on their ships to power their ships indefinitely. And so this object that they've been able to create, as they've somehow traveled to our solar system to create in some way, is the source of it. That the generational ships that arrived in our solar system first, I guess, would have built the ones that are being used now as other generational ships are passing through space. And that's what they're using our sun for. Now, what's interesting is that while it seems silly, it's not theoretically impossible to create something that can hyper-focus something like a laser. We ourselves have created a laser that has such a small variation or a differentiation in how it travels that it hit the moon and was only creating a 4-mile wide beam when it hit. So we can transmit light, thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away and still keep it relatively focused. So if there was some sort of advanced civilization within our solar system and had the resources necessary, perhaps because they built a reverse Dyson sphere within our sun to live through whatever and then harness it through this laser situated between Earth and Mars, I guess it is technically possible.
So what are the mechanics? Okay, so in this theory,
What?
the sun is the sun.
The sun is the sun. Correct.
there is like technology there that's like turns the sun basically into a gas station.
It turns the sun into it takes the light of the sun and hyper focuses it like a laser.
And then you get to it.
And then that
you
laser is hitting generational starships. What that means is like, for maybe those who don't know, just like generational starships means ships that are going to travel over the course of hundreds of years and many generations
like
will live and die. Yeah. And
exactly.
so that's the only thing that could power something like that. So the generational ships who got to our solar system, that were powered maybe by their first sun or the second sun or whatever system they've gotten to, then built another one to power the next one to be sent off and continue to travel the stars in that regard.
So it's like a relay.
Yeah, it's like a relay. It's a better way.
And where's the evidence for this?
Then there you have it. Okay,
do you have
great.
to have evidence when you have faith?
Yes! You can't just... All right, here's my theory. Inside the sun is a dragon, and the sun is just an egg. And my evidence is that I one time had a dream that was true, and I know it to be true.
People
Done.
call that a
Now,
revelation,
my
Jesse.
theory
Yeah,
is,
that might be just a revelation, Jesse.
That
The
might not have
evidence
been
we
a
know
normal dream.
is that we saw the generational ship passing over the sun to eclipse it before NASA actively cut the feed, so we couldn't see the truth before it was before our very eye.
So Ezekiel's wheel was the world ship, and in March of 2020 is when the world ship finally arrived. The generational starship rolled into our solar system for their refuel. Or are they moving everyone from their ship to another ship that's ready to go already? What are we talking about here?
We don't know why, because they're aliens. We don't know why they're doing it.
You know what? That's
we
true.
Don't know. We don't know what their intents are.
Yeah, I've seen The Arrival. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
So what you're saying is
Hollywood has taught you well, Alex, and we already know that's the best fountain of knowledge you could ever ask for.
our solar system is, when you're Alex, when you're driving up the 5 to San Francisco.
I'm there. Hang on. I'm there.
There's a lot of stops along the way, and most of them you're like, nah, I don't really want to stop there. It seems like nothing's around here. So what you're saying is our solar system is like that one stop that's like, we have the best pea soup.
Oh, no.
And so
they're
driving by, they're
sentient
going
monkeys.
to the gas station. Yeah, they're going to the gas station and then moving on to go to a different, more popular thing.
It's more like
we're like the people up in the hills who are just like,
there's just a turn sign that just is like, humans this way, refuel here. It's more like a human, 50 quid or something.
It's like when you're about to go into a national forest or something like that, and they're like, this gas station right here, it's the last one you're going to see for 75 miles.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God, that's what's abducting the people in the national forest. The aliens who are coming off.
You think the aliens are literally stopping at that gas station?
Yeah, exactly. No, they're coming by our solar system and they're paying a little money to abduct a human. It's like just the thing you do when you come by this part of the galaxy.
We're like chili pistachios that you buy on the way to Vegas.
Because capitalism is everywhere, even beyond Earth.
Yeah, so we're like handmade beef jerky or something like that.
Yeah, and there's like an alien or two that runs the shop, and they're just like, "Where are y'all headed? Glip 9?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, I am. That's where I'm going." Like, all right, well, you gotta use this bathroom key.
Well, I mean, look, that sounded pretty sensible, So what are the crazy ones?
Well. What if I told you that the sun and the reason alien activity is so rampant on Earth is because...
It's not, by the way, but okay.
Well,
how would you know if you're stuck in your house all day, Jesse?
Yeah, first of all, how would you know alien, whether or not the hollow sun theory is true, let us not bring into question abduction scenarios and those who have gone through them.
I'm questioning it.
I am
questioning it right now.
How dare you? How dare you?
I want to put all of them on lie detectors. Let's make it happen.
What if it's because our sun and our other suns like it? Our sun is the yellow classification. Is it?
Yeah.
Crap.
We have a yellow sun. Correct. I watched Superman.
Yeah. Thank you. And because of that, it provides just the right amount of energy to create a sort of device. Maybe we could call it I hesitate to call it like a teleportation system, but. Something akin to...
Like a Stargate?
Yeah, or like maybe like a Mass Effect relay, something along those
Yeah,
lines,
yeah,
or
yeah.
something similar like that. And because it's but only the amount of energy that the yellow sun is able to produce. Either within the sun itself, there is a theory that within the sun, there's the reverse Dyson sphere. And at the center of the reverse Dyson sphere is actually the device that helps bend space-time to allow interstellar travel to be instantaneous. Like, that's how they get around, light going faster than light speed and so on.
Through sun?
Yes. And so our
It's badass,
sun,
to be
being
sure.
what it is a place that many of them use, and there's already one set up within that they use to go to and from and help travel the far reaches of the galaxy, because we're quite far out from the center, may I remind you. And so we're we're super interesting for them to watch because we're so far out. We're still so primitive, and that's why we're so like constantly being observed by so many different species.
Because we're special.
Not that we're special, we're just young and dumb.
I like that. That
Like we're
feels like
animals.
accurate
We're
to me.
we're like evolving animals that they're interesting. They're interested to watch. Now it doesn't explain why grays keep trying to jerk us off, but it's interesting nonetheless.
You're obsessed with this. Obsessed.
Because it's the one of the most common things that happens in gray abductions.
It's true.
Always. It's bar none like one of the most common things. So yeah, it's bizarre. And grays
you
are the
make a
most
deal-
commonly seen alien when it comes to either encounters beyond abductions or just like seeing them in a craft or seeing them on the ground. There's a story of a guy who was in his car at night and grays were trying to get him and they couldn't figure out how to get operate the door handle that just like was beyond them. And so he said he was seeing fire, like his car was on fire, but he knew it was fake. But they kept trying to like get him to believe that his car was on fire so that he'd get out of the car because they couldn't figure out how to get to him.
I see.
What?
Yeah, isn't that like
Like they were
weird?
like shooting holograms onto his car.
like they were
and
like,
could be like, oh
psychic
shit.
waving him. Yeah, and he was like, he knew it wasn't real, but it was so real, like, and so like because they couldn't figure out how to get to him because grays are weird. There's so
you
many
ever-
different stories of grays who can't figure out how to operate simple things like door handles. It's so weird.
Did you ever
Or
appeal
it's
to the
an
devil
easy way to
for to get abducted and jacked off by the Greys?
Well, say that. Wait, can you say that? Can you say that first part one more time? Because I did not hear it.
Just in between nights when you were like trying to get superpowers, did you ever like go to the devil and ask him to help you get jacked off by the Greys?
No, I would never do that. I was a good boy. I was
a
very
good boy. You were literally like, Satan, if I could just fly, I'll
Well,
do
I
anything.
know. To be fair, I asked God first. I gave him his chance.
That's true. He went to God first.
I did go to God first.
He asked
For-
mom, and then when mom
girl-
said no, he went to dad.
Yeah, and go for the fun one.
Yeah.
You know you're gonna get grounded way worse later when you go to dad because when
Dad's
mom
not
finds
doing
out.
as good of a job. He's not parenting as well, but he's trying to please. You know what I mean? He's trying to make it happen.
So, but that's the other theory that I guess you could call the most scientifically believable.
No, you couldn't.
Why not?
What you just said is not scientifically
I
believable.
mean, if you put three things on a paper, one of them is the most believable.
Well,
what
the
I'm
first
saying?
one, in my opinion, was the most believable.
You're right. You know what? You're right. Comparatively, compared to all the other insane things you're saying, comparatively, you're right. Word choice is important. I'm sorry.
The gas station-
I'm wrong.
The gas station theory is better than the Stargate
It's like a game
theory.
of it's like a game of Stellaris where you just come across like a really resource-rich planet, but you don't want to deal with the locals, so you just like squeeze the solar system for what it's worth, and just be like, oh, let's check in on the locals. Let's see how far they've evolved in the past 100 years. No, too niche of a reference. All right, I tried.
Stellaris?
Someone out there's like, I love Stellaris.
Stellaris
I'm
is
a
great.
big fan
great
of
game.
these
It's a great
types of
4X
games.
game.
I
love
understood
those
that.
games. Are you kidding me? Oh, come on, 4X, like grand strategy. You like Civ, Jesse? You would love those
I'm
games if
there.
you gave it a chance.
We're not saying, what are you talking about? We're not saying there's anything wrong with it.
All right, you're right.
I just
All right,
own a
ready
Mac,
for the next
so I
theory,
just don't
boys?
have- yeah.
All right. So Jesse, you said something that I didn't want to spoil too early, but when you spoke of something, you hit a theory almost right on the head. You hit the nail kind of crooked. You made it a little jagged.
Don't tell me this has to do with Miss Singapore Universe.
It does not. It does not. It's dumber
Okay.
than that.
Dragon egg?
It is that the sun is actually a giant egg.
What?
And that
That is not true. That's not a real thing. The core is made of hydrogen and gas.
first of all, I didn't say
we have studies that show the deep inside, like,
hey,
it's hydrogen
hey,
gas.
hey, we have studies being proved wrong all the time as science explores and advances and we learn of new chemicals and things that are and are not possible.
Yeah, remember when they used to put thumbs on the dinosaurs wrong? The sun could be an egg.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
Maybe
yeah,
you just
sure.
maybe they just didn't look hard enough.
Apparently used to put thumbs on the dinosaurs.
They used
The
to.
sun could be an egg. I want that as a
I
quote.
hate it.
Just
I'm so glad
want-
I don't have to do hollow anything after this
Sun
ever
could be an
again.
egg?
There's no like there's like no hollow Mars. Like this is the last of it. I'm so happy. I'm so
Hollow
happy.
Mars, like that's like every theory of Mars having aliens on it is like it's hollow because that's the only explanation of like where the fuck the aliens are.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's bases on like inside and shit. Yeah. But like we
I'm
covered
ready
that.
for
We
Europa.
covered that
When are we
already.
gonna talk about that?
Like I'm saying,
Europa.
Europa.
my God. So not necessarily a dragon egg, but more of an egg of some import, whether it be, and this is the best we've got, an ancient species of alien that is going to take thousands and thousands of years to gestate and birth and become one. And when that happens, that's when like the sun explodes and it wipes out the solar system. And the reason, again, the evidence is so many aliens keep showing up anywhere near our planet. There has to be a reason. And this seems to be kind of the pivot point for a lot of people who want to believe in aliens and alien abductions, but kind of don't want to believe that humans are important, but still want to believe that there must be something important here to draw the aliens. And so they find there's this thing where they believe that maybe this egg is being safeguarded in some way, that these species of aliens are not here to do war with us. In fact, that their scientific experiments on us are purely that, scientific and out of curiosity, but they are all part of a treaty that guards this egg, and they have to all come, and they're all in and out and whatnot. And that's the reason they're all abducting us and stuff. What is that egg? What is it going to birth? Who bloody effing knows?
Baby God.
That's not the important part here. The important part is that the mystery is exciting and the evidence we have is thin.
Much like the outer shell of the egg.
Of the egg,
Which
right.
a baby
hydrogen
god
gas shell.
Will eventually poke through.
Maybe
Do you think
what
it'll be
pokes
like
through-
God? Do you think like it's the baby version of like the Christian God that's in there?
It just, I actually hope not.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
I hope not. When you were talking about like the gobs, all I saw was Fern Gully villain when he's like the smoke and oil as he's coming out of like all the pipes and stuff.
Oh,
What
yeah,
if that's
the goo
like
man?
what oozes itself out of the sun, like when it burns. It's just this evil, but it's singing villain.
It's Tim Curry's voice.
Yeah, it's
Here's
yeah,
the
that's
thing,
right.
If that
Tim
was
Curry.
the case, and he came out and he was like, Mathis, I guess that's my Tim Curry. Mathis, I'm going to give you flying powers.
What?
Would you be fine with that?
But would Earth be destroyed?
Yeah, but you could fly away.
Without Earth, like what point is there? Where am I gonna go? I still have to deal with the vacuum of space.
Space.
Yeah,
That's
but
where
I
you
still- I gotta deal with the vacuum of space. I can't travel faster than light speed, so I'm just gonna be in the void forever.
I like that theory. I like the theory that the sun is an egg. That's like pure like Jack Kirby, like 1960s comic book sci-fi. That is like, I love that theory.
So, one other
How are there more?
there's one
How
more.
are
One
there
more.
more?
There's one more. There's one more.
Okay.
Listen, dude, I had to dig so deep. You're going to listen to all of it because it's all I got.
Okay.
This one's interesting, and I don't know if you've heard of this one before, but it's probably way more popular than I'm giving it credit for. But what if the sun isn't any of that? What if the
With
sun
you so far?
is just the center of an atom, and we
Oh.
are microscopic on a much more macro level,
Yo,
and that
and then-
life on our particular.
And then we're like in a marble in a
Yeah.
sack.
And they're like, bam, 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 bam. And then it zooms out, and it's like, what is anything? And
And then we're like in a locker at an airport for giant aliens.
Listen, I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. And, I mean,
Here's
it's,
the thing,
it's
though.
fascinating, right? It's a little fascinating in that there's the orbiting aspect, but that, in my opinion, just speaks to how physics work. You know what I
It's
mean?
very philosophy 101.
Yes,
is what it is.
exactly.
Because it's, if you think about it, truly we are specks within the universe.
Right, of course.
And our little thing, it makes up a bigger thing, which makes up a bigger thing. But that's how everything's created.
Yeah.
literally, it all works that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's how everything works.
Yeah, but listen,
it's universal.
on this forum, this was a big conversation, and there were some minds blown, and I want to give them credit for thinking on it. Most L Dutch was a big one. L Dutch was the one that had that theory. Congratulations, L Dutch. NL628.
That's a username?
What were the comments? What were the comments?
Well, the ones were basically the ones that I was telling you before, where they break down the lasers and all that other stuff, where they're talking about the more realistic ones. But they're talking
about this one specifically. What were the comments on this one specifically?
They laughed at it or ignored it.
I mean,
That's why I believe this one the most. I believe this one the most. I think this guy. Here's the thing. It sounds like he smoked a bunch of weed and like had that profound.
He had that, like that mind-blowing
what if we're all
moment.
made up of atoms.
Listen,
Yeah.
everybody's gonna have it, dude. Everybody's gonna have that moment where they got to think to themselves, "I'm just a brain in a meat suit." Like, if I just blew your mind right now,
yeah.
you're welcome. I popped your weed like philosophy cherry.
It's like, what's that guy's name? Descartes. This is all just comes back to Descartes, where it's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. Like, if we are just in an atom, right?
Yeah.
That just means that whatever we know as our existence just happens to exist in a bigger atom, and like whether or not there's no like revelation there. Like, it's not like, and now that we know this, that it's the same thing as like a simulation or a dream. Like, you're always dreaming. It's like, if you're always dreaming, it doesn't matter because that's what your existence is.
That's all you know.
That's your reality. To you, that is real. Just like
that guy who yelled at you last week in the coffee shop.
Yeah, exactly. That dude who was like, drink silver.
I knew. Yeah, but reality is subjective, and everyone has a different reality, and you cannot tell someone what their reality is, and like that you can tell them what's real or not, but to them they can completely deny it, because some people's realities are bonkers town insane, and that's fine. That's totally fine.
And that base, like, philosophical idea ties into greater things, like we've brought up before, what chaos magic is, or the idea of the secret, quote unquote. The idea that you change your reality by forcibly doing it. And in a way, it's just kind of a belief system to get you to motivate yourself to do the right thing, or do the thing you want to do, or accomplish the thing you want to accomplish, whether or not it's more than that. You know, it's weird.
It's funny because the sun is like such a good like metaphor for this, but it's something we always talk about on here, about how like the theories that begin to stink always are the ones where it's like it makes us like the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
And so things like chaos magic, things like the secret, things like what's the one called that's like quantum immortality?
Oh, quantum immortality. Yep.
It's like, it doesn't fucking matter if that's true at that point, because at that point, like, if you are the main character of life and you're the only one who's going to live forever and whatever, like, what does that change about how you're going to live your life right now? Yeah. You know, other than you're going to try and kill yourself maybe, and then you're going to just like die. You know what I mean? And then either you die, or in your reality, you don't die and you continue on because a universe splits off from that moment.
Right.
It's just funny because the sun is literally the center of everything that we revolve around, and being like, there's an egg at the center.
Yeah.
Or being like, there's an atom at
Well,
the
isn't
center.
it fascinating too that the most detailed and most thought out and studied and written about theories are all theories about Hollow Earth and Hollow Moon, because we are very much the focus of all of it.
But this is, I think, is the next phase, which is
You think
like,
so? You think this is the beginning of something greater?
Well, I think I think this goes back to what Alex is saying, which is like, Hollow Earth, Hollow Moon is very human centric.
Right.
It revolves
Exactly.
around us being so important that some extraterrestrial or something about us or something special about our world.
Do you, before you move on, out of curiosity, Jesse, do you believe that the theories of alien abductions, because we are like scientifically interesting, like we're an evolving species and nothing more than that?
No,
does that put us
no.
at like special level to you?
No, I think that I agree with every sci-fi trope that aliens look at us like, ugh, flesh bags.
I agree. I kind of agree. Yeah.
They're so disgusted with us. Like, I can't believe you get hurt so easily and you are like filled with blood and guts. Like, that's so gross. I think the idea of moving from hollow earth to hollow sun or hollow moon to hollow sun is one of those things that it's a sneaky way of still doing we're important, but without it seeming like we're important, right? Because it's the sun and it's so big and the aliens, but it's still our solar system. For some reason, our solar system is super important compared to the many, many other solar systems out there, which is truthfully, and it's just as insane as saying our planet or us as a species. It is us trying to find meaning in something that may in fact be meaningless. And so you have to derive your own meaning, and it can't just be like, because the aliens need us for something.
Yeah.
No, that's not how that works.
Alex, you look like you were about to say something. So
it's basically what I was gonna say. Is it's just like, I don't know, like stuff like this. You're just pie in the sky. Like, there's no like with at least with Hollow Earth or with like something like the reptilians, something like that. You like there's at least everybody's seen that video where they're like Obama.
Reptilians need us because they eat human meat as well.
Right. That we're like livestock for them. Right. Like
Now, here's the thing. I'd believe that shit over like, well, they need us because we're the only ones that can save their species. I would be way more open to believing that, oh yeah, we just taste delicious.
Well,
yeah.
I know we just tangent
to
off
serve man. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I know we just tangent off what you said, Alex, and I apologize, but
No.
it's the theory about like the Greys making us important. I think the most the way they make that lesson is significant isn't that it's all about us, but there's the theory that it's just future humans who have fucked up so bad they need past us to fix their mistakes.
I'm starting to get there. I'm starting to believe that at this point.
Right? It's just like all really bizarre, but that's it. That's all there is on Hollow Sun. And I know people have been chomping at the bit for Skinwalker Ranch. I promise you, it is coming. We're almost there.
I would love to know what listeners think about Hollow Sun, because I imagine it's a stretch for most people.
Oh God, I hope so.
But I would love if people had like other theories that were a little more down to earth, or they were like, well, here's what I think, because I don't know.
What? I can't even.
have
What
science
could you
that
do with the
says
sun?
Suns collapse. But at a certain point, suns become black holes.
Didn't they just discover a white hole?
Yeah, they think they may have.
Yeah, I mean, but the idea of, okay, this is a thing that powers it like gives us life. Literally, the sun was a god to human beings for centuries because it gave us life, and during the day we were safe from predators. So this thing that exists that made us come into being, eventually reverts in on itself and destroys all life around it. Fascinating.
That is kind of fascinating when you word it like that. Yeah.
Yeah. How does it do that? Why does it do that? Like we know just enough to know that it eventually will become a black hole, but there's even a black hole at the center of the Milky Way.
Mm-hmm.
And how did that happen? And what is that for? And slowly we are all being sucked toward it, right? So it's fascinating, because then where does that go, right? There has to be an exit, right?
Yeah, and then
who knows?
Well,
there's so many fascinating things.
A lot of actually like getting into like the black hole stuff, theories of that's where a lot of theories of like how time breaks down start popping up, is like because you start getting pulled apart and like time has no meaning anymore, and like because black holes just warp everything from space, time, light.
Now I know people would talk about the movie Interstellar, but I say nay. The TV show, the Kevin Sorbo TV show Andromeda, is much better.
Never seen it.
So it's one of those cheesy shows that was on like after Xena. It is straight up just a ship gets trapped in the sort of pool of a black hole, and many I'm gonna say hundreds of years go by? Question mark. I don't know. Time goes by because they're trapped there and they finally get out. And same thing, but I love the idea that time is such a construct that when you get towards a black hole, it's like
meaningless.
Well, it's
Totally
just like we keep moving the goalposts, you know? Like you look at these like Native American stories that are like the sky is a blanket and there's holes in the blanket and that's stars.
Yeah.
And then once we figured that out, we were like, "Oh no, that we're a planet and there's space." They were like, "Oh, and in space where we are the center, that's where the gods are, is up in space or like, you know, above us somewhere in the heavens." And then when we were like, "Oh, but there's like a lot of different planets and it's way bigger than that." And now we're like, "There's magic on the other side of a black hole." We're like, "There's a dragon egg inside the sun." Like it's all just like stuff that's on the boundary of what it's possible for us to actually categorically know. You know what I mean? And I think that's cool. And I think, like, honestly, like, as much as I, like, typically side with Mathis a lot of the time with these kind of creepy, weird theories
stuff
and stuff like that, like, to be honest with you, the reason that all this stuff interests me most is because it's all just, like, our mythology now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all these
No,
things
it's
that
fascinating.
we can't possibly figure out. It's just stuff that, like, I think is awesome, and I think about it in the same way that I think about those like origin stories that people tell, or like the story of like, you know, Zeus like turning some lady into a swan or whatever. Like, I don't know, you know, just like stuff like that. It feels like it feels the same as that. We have a language that we tell each other things with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I agree. It's fascinating. Well, but that wraps it up. The end of a trilogy nobody asked for. It's done.
God bless the Hollow Man trilogy.
The Hollow Man trilogy. Yeah, there you go.
nah, nothing.
Fair enough.
It's done.
pass.
Like I said, I know people have been chomping at the bit for Skinwalker Ranch. It is almost ready. We're so close. But we wanted to get one more episode up for March as well. As a big thank you for all the support on the Patreon, because it's just been wild and we really, really appreciate it. And we just can't wait to see what the rest of the year brings for Chilluminati, because one way or another, we'll be bringing you more episodes, even through the quarantine.
Yeah, somehow, some way. If I'm
Somehow,
still here,
some
I'm
way.
still recording.
We're still alive.
But man, that's the end of this episode. But if you feel cheated, if you feel like there's more Chilluminati that you want to hear this week, please head over to patreon.com/ChilluminatiPod and throw down some money for that $5,000 goal. If you donate, if you patronize, what do you even want to call it?
You patroned?
I never want to say donate because it's not accurate. You know what I mean?
No, correct.
You're paying for
There's
something,
not
right?
donation.
Yeah,
but,
like-
but
You know what I'm saying? Whatever. The point is, if you
Brain
join
just
at the
died.
$15 level, you get another mini episode of Chilluminati literally right now. So head over there, check it out, and you get to hear it before everybody else does.
hell yeah, we're going to do that now. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to reach us, you can do so over at Chilluminati Pod subreddit by the same name. You can tweet at all of us. I'm at Mathis Games. Jesse's at Jesse Cox. Alex is at Faciane AA. And the podcast itself is at Chilluminati Pod. We're out of here. If you've been listening, drop us a review. We're almost at 1,100 reviews and maintaining a 5-star average. We appreciate you. Keep it up. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Peace out.